Okay, we're going to continue on in the Apocrypha today. This is the Wisdom of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 12. The discourse of fools is offensive, and their laughter is wanton sinfulness. A profane man's talk makes your hair stand on ends, and their quarreling makes you stop your ears. When arrogant men quarrel, there is bloodshed, and their abuse of one another is dreadful to hear. The man who tells secrets destroys confidence, and will not find a friend to his mind. If you love your friend, keep faith with him. But if you tell his secrets, do not pursue him. For as sure as a man loses his dead, you have lost your neighbor's friendship. And as you let a bird out of your hand, you have let your neighbor out, and you will never catch him. Do not go after him, for he is far away, and he has made his escape like a gazelle from a trap. For you can bind up a wound and be reconciled after abuse. But for the man who tells secrets, there is no hope. A man who winks his eye plots mischief, and no one can keep it from him. Face to face with you, he speaks sweetly, and he will show respect for what you say. But afterwards, he will twist his lips and make a stumbling block of your words. I have hated many things, but found nothing like him. And the Lord hates him too. A man who throws a stone into the air is throwing it on his own head, and a treacherous blow wounds both. The man who digs a hole will fall into it, and the man who sets a trap will be caught in it. If a man does wicked things, they will roll on him, and he will not know where they come from. Mockery and abuse overtake arrogant men, and vengeance lies in wait for them like a lion. Those who enjoy the downfall of the godly will be caught in a trap, and pain will consume them before they die. Wrath and anger are also detestable, and the sinful man clings to them. The man who takes vengeance will have vengeance taken on him by the Lord, and he will keep close watch on his sins. Forgive your neighbor his wrongdoings, then your sins will be forgiven when you pray. Shall one man cherish anger against another, and yet ask healing from the Lord? Does he have no mercy on a man like himself, and yet pray for his own sins? If he, though he is flesh and blood, cherishes anger, who will atone for his sins? Remember your end and give up your enmity. Think of death and destruction, and stand by the commandments. Remember the commandments, and do not be angry with your neighbor. Think of the agreement of the Most High, and overlook men's ignorance. Keep from quarreling, and you will reduce your sins. For a passionate man kindles quarrels. A sinful man creates dissension among friends, and arouses enmity among those who are at peace. The more fuel, the more the fire will burn, And the more obstinate the quarrel, the more it will burn. The stronger a man is, the greater is his anger. And the richer he is, the haughtier will his wrath be. A hurried dispute kindles a fire, and a hasty quarrel means bloodshed. If you blow on a spark, it will blaze. And if you spit on it, it will be put out. Yet both come out of your mouth. Curse the whisperer and the deceitful man, for he has destroyed many who were at peace. A third person's tongue has stirred many up, and removed them from one nation to another. It has torn down strongly fortified cities, and overthrown the houses of the great. A third person's tongue has driven out noble women, and robbed them of the fruit of their labors. The man who listened to it will find no rest, and will not live in peace. The blow of a whip leaves a bruise, but the blow of a tongue breaks the bones. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many have fallen by the tongue. Happy is the man who is protected from it, who does not feel its anger, who does not bear its yoke, and is bound with its chains. For its yoke is an iron yoke, and its chains are brazen chains. Its death is a cruel death, and Hades is better than it. It will not control godly men, and they will not be burned in its fire. Those who forsake the Lord will fall into it, and it will burn at them and will not be put out. It will be sent upon them like a lion, and ravage them like a leopard. If you see to hedging your property in with thorns, and shut up your silver and gold, many balances and scales. Make balances and scales to weigh your words, and make a barred door for your mouth. Take heed not to make it a slip with it, or you will fall before someone lying in wait for you. The man who shows mercy will lend to his neighbor, and the man who takes him by the hand keeps the commandments. Lend to your neighbor when he is in need, and pay your neighbor back again when it is time. Keep your word and keep faith with him. In every emergency you will find what you need. Many consider a loan as a windfall, and bring trouble on those who help them. A man will kiss another man's hand until he gets it, and speak humbly about his neighbor's money. But when payment is due, he extends the time and answers indifferently, and finds fault about the time of payment. If a man succeeds, he will hardly get half of it, and he will consider that a windfall. If he does not, the other has defrauded him of his money and needlessly made him his enemy. He will pay him with curses and abuse, and repay him with insults instead of honor. Many refuse to lend, not from their wickedness, but they are afraid of being needlessly defrauded. But be patient with a poor man, and do not make him wait for charity. for the